Alright everyone, welcome back. Logan Paul recently has gotten to an amazing amount of controversy. It's actually unreal how his career has pretty much gone from the peak of his life to just absolute crap in the span of a couple of weeks. Everyone thought Logan Paul had changed, right? At the end of 2017, he did his whole Japan video, everyone knows the story. He went into a suicide forest and it was pretty much game over at that point. But since then, and a couple of boxing matches later and a successful podcast, and everyone thinks that now Logan Paul has changed. Now Logan Paul is a mature man. He's 25 now, and he's absolutely thriving. He's living his life. But unfortunately, Logan Paul hasn't changed at all. In fact, he's probably gotten much worse. Now, there's three stories we're going to be talking about today. Number one is Logan Paul's extreme hypocrisy when talking about the Andrew Tate fight that he's supposed to be having. Number two is Logan Paul blatantly being ignorant and mocking his best friend George for his religious beliefs. And number three, which is the worst one in this video, is Logan Paul scamming his fans being exposed by CoffeeZilla in a 3-part documentary series because of a crypto coin that he released. I'll cover that one later in this video. So let's start with the first story, Logan Paul versus Andrew Tate. Since Andrew Tate started blowing up earlier this year, Logan Paul made it pretty clear that he doesn't agree with anything that Andrew Tate says. He doesn't really say why or give specific points. He kind of just goes on his podcast and says that, oh, Andrew Tate's dangerous and he's bad for young men, and years from now men are gonna be massive misogynists, all this type of shit. Pretty much he's just reading a bullshit script that everyone's supposed to read. And Logan Paul said this on his podcast.
I see my brother kicking I see KSI kicking ass. I'm like, oh, I want to kick some ass again. So I did. I made the call out video. Called out Andrew Tate. It would have gone viral. Except it wasn't quite me. I don't feel like giving him the blessing of being my dance partner in the ring. The that Andrew Tate is saying will have a ripple effect much more dangerous than you can imagine. His rhetoric has extreme negative energy in it, and it will affect impressionable young people in a way that will not show until years from now. And it is dangerous.
Now, this was a YouTube short posted by Logan Paul's podcast themselves, so this hasn't been taken out of context at all. I just played the full video. But you can clearly see from this video that Logan Paul is literally just reading a script from his phone. He doesn't actually agree with what he's saying. This guy has no ability to form opinions for himself, because now that he's been cancelled once before, he's too scared to agree with anything that Andrew Tate says. Even though he does make some good points that I'm sure even Logan Paul would agree with, because he's scared to get cancelled again. In Logan Paul's podcast, he recently said this, right?
Shut the fuck up. I'm not backing down for shit. That guy's a pussy.
Nah.
That guy's a fucking bitch.
You guys are both wrong.
That guy's a bitch, and he's just like
I'm on the Tate tit. I'm on the Tate tit, and I go.
Again,
give me some more nourishment.
Bro. You hate women, you hate gays, and you're racist. Of course you like Andrew Tate, you fucking scumbag.
Logan, you are the biggest pussy on this entire website. Tate said this himself, but it's a really good point, so I'm gonna reiterate it. Logan Paul is a bought and sold individual. He doesn't agree with anything he says, right? Because everything he says is in line with the new age cancel culture conditioning to make sure that his podcasts and his social medias don't get taken down. Also, on a fighting level, for Logan Paul to not call out Andrew Tate and not fight him because he doesn't want to platform this guy is the biggest pussy move I've ever seen. All it seems like to me is that Logan Paul is too scared to fight Andrew Tate. Whether he agrees with him or not, he's clearly scared to fight him. Logan doesn't give a fuck about the kids who might be impacted negatively by Tate if he makes them a boxing opponent. He just doesn't want to fight him. And I know people are going to comment down below saying, oh, but Glider Guy, you couldn't fight Logan Paul. If you think you're so tough, why don't you fight him? I know I can't fight Logan Paul, but I'm just pointing out hypocrisy here. Now, there was a good comment under this video that says this. He talks about Andrew Tate having a negative impact on impressionable children, then goes on Sidemen Tinder to showcase porn stars and OnlyFans models to millions of people. This is absolutely true. Whether you like it or not, and this is coming from someone who likes Sidemen, by the way, I like KSI and I like the whole group. But whether you like it or not, Sidemen Tinder, and especially the USA edition, is absolutely detrimental to the men that watched it. Because all that video did was promote P-Hub actresses and OnlyFans models that were in it. And it should be common knowledge at this point, but OnlyFans and adult websites are fucking horrible for you. Don't watch that shit. Now you could argue that on an individual level, that someone who watches that would have the capability to just not go to those websites and just enjoy the Sidemen video on its own. But a lot of people who watch Sidemen videos, let's be real, are fucking losers. If 30 million people watch that video, which they did, and see an OnlyFans model, a lot of them are just going to be curious and check them out. And Logan Paul, who is directly a part of this video, gave it the green light. So no, Logan Paul, someone like Andrew Tate who's trying to make men in his audience stronger by disavowing OnlyFans models and adult websites while teaching them to make money isn't dangerous. What is dangerous is you normalizing OnlyFans and adult websites to millions of of young viewers who watch Sidemen. And you might be thinking, oh yeah, but Sidemen viewers are just older teenagers. Bro, there are so many Sidemen viewers that are like 10 years old. There are so many impressionable young people that are Sidemen viewers that see this type of shit and they're like, oh yeah, I just want to go check that out once. All of a sudden they empty their bank account and now they're screwed. And Logan Paul is greenlighting this. Now the second story of this video is Logan Paul blatantly mocking his friend George on his podcast about his religious beliefs.
I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend. As your best friend, have you ever seen me to any straight man or gay man or any type of person ever have ever shown any hatred ever?
No, but you're in the same boat with a large group of people that do.
Like you suck at comedy. I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I want you to say it right now.
I never once talk about gay people.
Because you're subscribed to the doctrine that perpetuates that information.
I'm subscribed to love my neighbor.
Not everyone in your religion is.
Yeah, but
That's
but
fine. Hold on. You're sitting in the same boat with some really hateful people.
I think you're so giant with your words, you really don't know what you step on when you say things. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way or trying to pull at you. I think that you have so much going on in your life and you're so like power driven that you will mow past your friends and family without knowing.
If I say something, I've said it intentionally.
Bashing me in front of a group of people for my beliefs is not right.
I mean, there is just so much to break down here. Firstly, no matter if you're an atheist, not religious, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, whatever, I think it's pretty universally known that religion is something that you don't fuck around with. You don't just go around mocking people's beliefs and all this type of shit like Logan Paul is doing. Now, I do understand that Logan and George are just having a normal conversation about it, and Logan is clearly uneducated on the topic, but the way Logan Paul in the past has mocked George and in this clip about how pretty much all Christians are the same is so stupid to me. Me personally, when it comes to Christianity, I don't really think I want to go that route. And the only reason for that is because Christianity is a religion that I don't really think sticks to its word. Because in the Bible, it says things like, oh, you can't be gay. However, in the modern day in Christianity, that they now allow that. That's not to say that I don't like gay people or Christianity and I don't like Christian people. I respect people for their beliefs, unlike Logan Paul on an individual level. And if you can take the good out of Christianity and become a good person because of that and leave like all the bad stuff out of Christianity that in the modern day would make you seen as a bad person, then I absolutely respect that. And we would get along very well. But me personally, I just cannot associate with a religion that changes its rules all the time. And the thing is, that's just me personally. I'm not an atheist, but I'm also not really assigned to any particular religion. I'm sort of in the middle. I'm more in the stage of my life where I'm just not too sure. But in Muslim culture, from what I've seen, I'd be a lot more likely to assign myself to Islam, considering everything in their Quran, which is pretty much like their version of the Bible, has been set in stone since the beginning, and they don't dilly-dally and they don't really switch up and change their rules. At the end of the day, right, Logan Paul is completely wrong for this. He should just respect his friend's beliefs, bro. And just because he doesn't believe in Christianity it doesn't mean he needs to mock his friend for it. Just because he thinks that Christianity is silly, that doesn't mean he should be mocking his friend for it. The same way that if someone thinks that Logan Paul is silly for like not believing in anything, that doesn't mean that they should force Logan Paul to believe something. Religion shouldn't be forced on anyone, and atheism shouldn't be forced on anyone. People should just be able to believe what they want to believe. Now for the third story of this video, Logan Paul scamming his fans. Now this one, bro, is really bad. There are plenty of videos explaining this whole situation, which you can watch. But to give a summary, a YouTuber by the name CoffeeZilla, who's got nearly 2 million subscribers, posted a 2-part series on his channel exposing Logan Paul for scamming his fans out of millions. Logan Paul created a game called Crypto Zoo, which is pretty much a game where you can like buy eggs and you can hatch them into rare NFTs and like breed them or whatever and then cash out. Only when he launched his game, the core basics of the game didn't work. There was no way to cash out. So literally people are putting millions of dollars into this game and you can't even cash out. You're literally just locking people's money. So Logan Paul's fans put thousands of dollars into this game, and one even put $500,000 Australian, which is around 350,000 US dollars, and just got completely scammed. Now Logan Paul has a habit of just releasing random games and these random projects on his podcast or whatever, and then just abandoning them when shit goes wrong, and not even updating his fans who invested into these projects when something's gone wrong. Now there are plenty of videos talking about this topic like I mentioned before, so you can check them out, but that's pretty much a summary of what happened. Let me know what you think about Logan Paul in the comments down below. Click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Bye.